The Liberty volleyball team hosted the Liberty Invitational over the weekend, and here to talk about it all is head coach Shane Pinder. Coach, thanks so much for joining me today.
Good to be here.
Before we get into the details, tell me a little bit about the differences and maybe the challenges from hosting a tournament as opposed to hosting just a one-game matchup.
Well, the great part this year is being back here. We haven't been here in a few years to host a tournament, so to be able to be here and allow the kids to be home for a weekend is great early in the season. But in terms of the preparation, a single match, you're just preparing for one team. This weekend we had to prepare for 4 matches. So in terms of game prep and watching film, and it's a quick turnaround. And if you didn't like what you did in the one match, you got a few hours and you get to play again, which that's good. But you got to be ready for that team. So you can't game plan exactly how you would like, but it's challenging that, but it's good. It's good to be home.
Maybe a little more pressure to win it when it's your own tournament too.
Yeah, I mean, this business is all about pressure, but being at home, our kids getting used to playing in the Vines. They hadn't played there this year, and just getting used to the space. And we haven't practiced there this year. There's been a lot of construction, so so we haven't been able to train in there. So it was kind of an away gym for us too. But nonetheless, they adjusted to the pressure early and got used to it, and we played our best volleyball in the last match.
Let's talk about the dominant force over the weekend. That was Murray State. They went undefeated, only lost 1 set, and that was to you guys. You were able to come away with that 1 win. What made them so dominant, and what were you guys able to take away from playing a team like that?
Yeah, when we played them, I knew they were a good program, well coached. I have a lot of respect for them. The disappointing thing for me is we didn't compete, and they beat us in every facet of the game. So that's something we got to address. But they had great defensive pressure. They had 4 kids that were in the upper teens in digs, so they defended well. They served tough, which put a lot of pressure on our passing patterns, and then they were really efficient offensively. They didn't make a lot of mistakes, so they made us earn everything, which at this point of the year, that's a good match to be in. It's great film. It's great to be able to come back and talk about that today and say, hey, these are the areas we need to get better. And sometimes when you're talking in the gym, they're not really listening. But when something like that happens, you got their attention a little bit more.
So you guys came away with 2 wins, 2 losses. Let's talk about this final match against UNC Greensboro. They won the first 2 sets, had a fierce defense going on. You guys came from behind, won the next 3 sets, and thus the match. What was it that turned it around for you guys?
I'd like to say it was a great speech, and if I could figure it out, I'd write a book and maybe make a lot of money off of it. But in the 2 losses that we had throughout the weekend, the thing we walked away from a staff talking about was we just weren't competing. We weren't playing the way we know we can play, and that set us on our heels a little bit. And so coming into that final match, that was the biggest thing. It wasn't about game plan. It wasn't about who we were going to block and all that. The message in the locker room was simply, we're down 0-2 at the Vines Center, and we're not competing. And when you start competing again, leadership starts stepping up, then we'll have a chance. And we came out the first 2 sets, and I was nervous because we didn't compete there either. But all of a sudden at the break, we woke up and we started playing the brand of volleyball I've seen for the first couple weeks. So they really turned it around. It was a great win.